What difference can an S make? An S. Well, in today's gospel, all the difference in the world. Jesus says to the lepers, go show yourselves to the priests. To the priests. More than one. It's the only case I can think of in all the scriptures where he says that, because it's the only place I can remember, I thought about it, where Jesus does a multiple healing at one time. He heals 10 people. And the custom and the law of the Jews was that, especially with leprosy, a highly contagious disease, if I had leprosy, first of all, I couldn't live anywhere near you. I'd live out in a camp at the end of town. My beloved family would bring food, set it on the ground, and they'd run to get out of there. And they wouldn't take those utensils back. I'd eat it and throw it away, I guess, and I had to live apart from them. So this was this little community. I'll be the Samaritan even. I'm with 9 Jews, and I'm the only Samaritan. It doesn't matter now. We're going to spend the rest of our lives together. We're all equal. That's how we see it. But because Jesus healed 10, he can't have 10 people go back to the priest, and the priest has to do 10 ablutions and healings, or accepting the healings and do the prayers. Jesus was so respectful of not only the 10 lepers, but of the priest. I'm not going to dump 10 people on one priest. So he says, go to the priests and let the priests do this healing prayer and welcome them back into community. It's a cute little detail. Jesus, he's something else. But as I said, it's the only story I can think of where there are 10 healings at one time. Very interesting. So I said to myself, 10. Now that's interesting. Why 10? Well, we know that 10 is a magic number in the scriptures, like 7. 7 is the most magic number. 10 is a magic number, and one of the reasons, it's a good-sized number, and it multiplies perfectly. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever after that, okay? So this number, the moment you say 10, the ears prick up and go, ooh, 10, big number. He heals not one but 10. They didn't ask for a healing, they asked for mercy. And he didn't ask them like he usually asks the people who heard it a couple times this week, what do you want? None of that takes place. They just said, Lord, have mercy. Master, have mercy. And mercy could have been giving them some food. It could have been a word of encouragement. And he doesn't ask them what they want, and he doesn't heal them yet. But before he heals them, again, the only case I know in all the scriptures, before he heals them, he tells them what they should do after they would receive a healing. In other words, he should have said, be clean. He should have touched them like he touched other lepers. But he doesn't do any of that. He just says, go show yourselves to the priest. And this is where it gets really interesting, because they must have walked away saying, well, why? Hey, we're not healed. But there had to be a question mark in their head. But they went anyway. And then when the healing takes place, the story gets really good. Because this one foreigner, a Samaritan, and Samaritan Jews did not get along. The Samaritan, and only the Samaritan, realizing he has been cleansed, is filled with gratitude. And he comes back to thank Jesus. And then we have that conversation. So the S in this story means a lot. Both because Jesus was generous to get many priests, and he generously healed not one but 10 people, and he even healed a foreigner. And if it says anything to me, this story, it says what the scriptures love to say all the time about God, and very much so about Jesus. How generous is God's love? How generous is God's love? The only thing is that the only one who seems to recognize the generosity is this Samaritan. So it raises for us important questions, because I would recommend that you and I find the Samaritan part of us, okay? That part that's the foreigner part, the part that people don't accept. In fact, we don't even like it sometimes. And maybe that on this day we would present it to God like we presented the bread, like we'll present our offerings, like, well, we're here, presenting ourselves in faith. And that we would ask God, God, be generous with us. Love us, grace us, bless us, heal us, move us in new directions, detach us from the ugliness of our life, attach us to the good, attach us to the cross. Help us to see your grace, your abundance, your generous, your crazy wildness of grace, so much we can barely contain it. Allow us to receive that, Lord. How many believe that? Really? How many believe that God's love is that generous? How many believe you've received it today? Can I have a testimony from anyone? Has anybody experienced God's generous love today, really saying in some fashion, oh God, you're so good, thank you for, and then you found yourself very grateful today for something? Anybody? I know St. Bernard's doesn't like to talk to me here at Mass. Nobody likes to volunteer. Anybody? Anybody felt God's generous love today? Thank you. Yes. She's very grateful she has her 3 kids today, and I'll tell you why. One moved away to Arizona. One went off to college, didn't back east, and never came back. Well, just on big days. But she's got all 3. He's got all 3 today. Wow. God's love. So good and generous. I'm going to make this person speak because he missed the most important reading of the year last week when his beloved Joanne got up and spoke at the Mass and read the reading about a good wife. And did you read it afterward?
No.
What? Well, Johannes, where are you? Would you give him that reading? Would you find it and give it to him? You go on the USCCB and find it. Tell me something you're grateful for. Give you a hint.
Oh yeah, I'm getting married to the perfect woman, and both my sisters are pregnant, so I'm gonna have a nephew and a niece coming by next year.
Did you hear that? He's getting married to the most perfect woman. You got a lot to live up to. And both of his sisters are pregnant, and within the year he's going to have a few niece or something. Oh, okay. Well, bravo. Okay, I've never done it in 41 years, given homework. Today, here's the homework. Everybody here, including little ones, must go home today and think about and speak about one thing you're grateful to God for. One thing. That you name it. God, I'm so grateful for this. And then at the Thanksgiving dinner, you say in front of everyone else, because they're going to say it too, I want to thank God for, and name one thing. I want you to be the Samaritan today. This is a good Samaritan who receives a generous blessing and is filled with gratitude. Y estoy enfocando en esta parte de gratitud de este samaritano que estaba sanado de Jesús con 9 otros leprosos. Y yo creo que es muy importante, no exactamente o especialmente porque era samaritano, pero este es un parte del puesto. Pero más que todo porque este hombre recibió no 1, pero 2 dones, 2. El primero era esta sanación. Pero 9 otros recibieron lo mismo. Solo él recibió un segundo don. O como está expresado en este puesto. Él recibió gratitud. Y no gratitud en general, gratitud profundo. Bastantemente él recibió esta gratitud profundo que él regresó a Jesús y él no dijo gracias Señor o hombre, él estaba hincado enfrente de él como en adoración, es una posición familiar en la Biblia, enfrente de él diciendo gracias, gracias. Y él sintió y él reconoció y él expresó esta gratitud. Era lleno de este don. Pero en efecto, o en realidad, él recibió una tercera también. Porque Jesús notó, era no solamente gratitud, pero fe. Él fue recibiendo esta sanación, sintiendo gratitud y regresando a expresarlo. Y Jesús dijo, es fe que te ha salvado. Entonces quiero conectar otra vez con toda esta comunidad y toda la familia que no está aquí con nosotros. Yo voy a ir al Bakersfield al norte con muchos y yo voy a demandar que todos puedan decir una palabra de gratitud a Dios este día por algo que recibió. Uno de mis sobrinas, bueno, mi sobrina, estaba en Las Vegas en el día que este hombre mató a muchas personas. Y ella está en un wheelchair, una... Y escapó. Y un policía estaba llevándola y otra su silla y con mi otra sobrina. Y ellos escaparon cosa loca. Entonces estoy seguro y claro, ella van a expresar su gratitud este día los dos. Porque ellos escaparon con sus vidas. Entonces yo pido esta pregunta. ¿Cuál es una cosa que yo recibió este año, o esta semana, o este día, o esta hora? Y podemos nombrar y expresar este día en la cena, con la familia, y todos nosotros expresando fe, todos nosotros expresando gratitud. De pie, por favor.